Well, seeing as it's a rainy day, I guess that the lighting's not that bad considering. Oh man, my hair is just combed my hair today. Honestly, I did. It doesn't look like it, does it? Oh, well, it is just pouring outside. Oh, I had thoughts when I first looked at the weather today. It looked like it was going to be clear this afternoon. I said, "Oh, good. I can worm the goats. I need to check the goats and worm some of them. I know Mama's looking a little pale, so I definitely need to worm her. And I have to check Little Miss, because I think she's the next one up. Dizzy. Because I like to share. That's why. Are you at your dad's? Oh man. I'm just a sharing person, that's all. What can I say? Yeah, I had all these grandiose plans that I was going to work the goats, which means check them all and see how they're doing, see if they need to be wormed. And I'm pretty sure Mama needs to be wormed, so I got to check the others. Mama was the only one I was able to check this morning. Little Miss just was not coming anywhere near me. She would not cooperate, so it's like, yeah, I'm going to need some help doing that. Yeah, did you get over there yet today? I know you're talking about it. Oh my. One of those sleepy, boring kind of days, you know? It's like, I finally have it figured out where I'm going to put the buck pen. And there's a space behind the goat barn right now. And I think it's big enough that I can put the bucks in there. And I mean, this is just a holding pen. Eventually I want to give them access to a larger area, but no visitors allowed. Stopping in tomorrow to drop gumdrops off. It's like, that is the cruelest, most inhumane thing that they are doing. He's not answering the phone. Nobody's giving you any information, and you can't see him. You have no idea. I mean, that I'm sorry. In my books, that's inhumane. It's inhumane. You know, it's terrible. Okay, you got to wear a mask. You got to wear a mask. Okay. I did that when my husband was in the hospital. I wore the mask to his room. But this is crazy. Even if you have just stand outside the hallway, look in through a glass window, even, just to lay eyes on him. They would not like me. They would not like me. I would be a royal pain in the butt is what I would be. Dizzy, I'm so sorry. I wish there was something more I could do. It infuriates me. Well, I'm glad that you're able to be on here for a little bit anyway. I haven't seen you on here for a dog's age. So, but anyway, I tried not to yawn. It's just that kind of day. I yawned like crazy last night. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Nice to see you made it. We are enjoying some lovely rainy weather. When my hubby was in the hospital, I could visit, and I had thought about asking them to let me see him through a window. Yeah, I would. I mean, seriously. How long has it been now since he's been in there? Cheryl, Dizzy's dad is in a nursing home. Yeah, it's just, I thought it was going to be clear this afternoon, because when I looked on AccuWeather, it didn't have anything showing for this afternoon. Well, it decided it was going to rain after all this afternoon. So I've got goats that I need to check for worms. And she's in a area that is very strict with this COVID stuff. So, they're 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Oh yeah. Maybe it's time to take on my persona and be a royal pain in the butt. Sometimes you're an awfully nice person, and sometimes it's time to put the awfully nice person to the side and start making a stink. Be a jerk like me. Oh man, I tell you. So yeah, I got a location for the buck barn, buck pen, whatever you want to call it, so I can separate the boys out. I gotta feed the girls more right now, because they're nursing, and I got 3 more does yet to kid, and so they need the extra calories. The boys don't really need it. Problem is, all I have going on with yes, I know. You've only got so much energy. She's also dealing with her husband who has cancer. So, yeah, all kinds of fun stuff for you. It's like, I don't think there's anybody that would want to trade places with you. I know you're going through a hard time right now. Praying for you all the time. Oh. Anyway, let me see here. The title of this, of course, is It's Gone. And SW did talk to him yesterday. Oh, that's good. At least somebody talked to him. That must have been a relief. Yeah, so it's been a crazy week. Besides the rain today, which is really slowing me up, but we're supposed to have 3 days of sunshine and nice weather coming up. I'm still probably going to have to deal with the mud, because, we just have a bumper crop of mud right now. But Monday, just this past Monday, I called the local radio station. They have a program called Dial and Deal. And I put on there that I have a 2004 Nissan Pathfinder that I'd like to sell. And I also had some chickens I'd like to sell. And I'll tell you, before I even hung up from being on the radio station, I had calls coming out the wazoo. And I was straight up honest with them. I said, it's got a bum transmission. It'll go into first and second, but it won't go into third gear. I said, fourth gear works, reverse works. It's just third gear won't go into third gear. So, I said, it'd been sitting there for over a year. I said, it was out of gas and the battery was dead. I didn't know if it was going to run for sure or not, but I thought it would. If the battery was charged and it had some gas, I thought it would run. So anyway, I calls, like I said, out the wazoo for my truck. And finally I had one guy show up, and he said that, he looked at it, and we were going to pop the hood, but we couldn't get the hood to pop. But he said, looking at it, I bet you probably could have asked twice what you were asking. I said, well, not knowing for sure if it would run, and it's been sitting here, and it's not doing it any good. It's not doing me any good just sitting here. I figure, I put a price on it that I figure, it would sell on. And I figured if nothing else, the body and the wheels, which were aluminum wheels, and the tires that were practically brand new at the time when we parked it, that I figured that was at least worth the asking price. Need that around here. I have eggs and chickens we sell, and not having much luck with Craigslist. Yeah, you might have to find another avenue to advertise. I was amazed at the response I got. Really, I was. And so anyway, all phone calls on Monday. All phone calls. One guy showed up. And then there was supposed to be another guy coming. He never showed. And the next morning I was saying, okay, if you're not here by noon, I can't hold it. So the next guy who called me, I said, it's here. Told him how to get here. And he liked what he saw. And we managed to get the hood open. So he took the battery with him. He gave me the money. He took the battery and the keys. And then I had another guy show up looking for chickens. And then I had a woman call me. I was looking for egg cartons. And she also decided she wanted to buy 2 hens. So she was new at chickens. And the one guy, he got 5 hens and 2 roosters, which was wonderful because I really needed to downsize my roosters. And I'm very thankful because he took 2 roosters that honestly I did not want to butcher because I thought they were so pretty. Especially the one. They were both lavenders. One was more of a two-tone, and the other guy had spots on his feathers. They just weren't going to fit in my breeding program. So, I had to get rid of them one way or another. And I really, the thoughts of butchering them was not something I was looking forward to. I at least have someone to sell my extra roosters to. There you go. You want to send them up here? I got a couple of buffs I need to get rid of. So anyway, so he took those 2 lavenders, and the one was really a nice rooster, and he would have been a terrible sin to have to butcher. But like I've said many times on other channels and even on mine, you only need so much testosterone on a farm, because if you have too much, then you have a problem. And the kind of problem that you have, like I have a hen that I have had quarantined in the brooder box for, I'd say, like 2 months, because she had been overbred by too many roosters, and it had messed up her leg or her hip. I wasn't really exactly sure. So, okay, I stuck her in the brooder box. She'd been in there for a couple of months of just recovering, and she was slowly recovering. Because when I first put her in there, she couldn't put any weight on that leg at all. She couldn't even open it up. It was in a claw formation. Well, she finally got to where, she was able to open it up. She still had a limp, but she was able to get around. And so the other day, I think it was the day after the guy came and got the chickens. I opened the brooder box just to see, how she felt. And it's like, and she got up. She wanted to see what was going on. And she, at one point she got down and went about her business, and it's like, okay, well, I didn't see where she went. I was off doing something else, and I didn't see where she went. And so I was thinking, well, maybe she went and she joined the group of buffs I have that go in the coop at night. And so I kept looking for a hen that had a limp to her, and I couldn't see anything. And I mentioned it to my husband. I said, I'm looking for this hen to see if she joined up over there, because I haven't seen her. And oh, hi, Little Creek Homestead. So he happened to look under the porch, and he said, I see a chicken under there, a brown one. And I said, I don't know if it's that one or not, and I don't know if it's dead or alive, but it's not looking too good. And I looked under there, and it's like, oh my, I think it might be her. So she was all the way back, so I had to get the shepherd staff that I have and try and scoop her out. And I got hold of her. Oh man, I tell you, this is what happens when you have too many roosters. Okay. She was tore up. She had nice feathers on her back before I let her out, and I mean, she had a little bit of a, bare spot back near her bum, but oh yeah, I think it's finally slacking off here, so maybe you're getting what we had. So anyway, they just, oh, she's got sores all over. She's dirty. She's like she was rolling in the mud. I just noticed one of her eyes is swollen shut. I don't know if she still has an eye there. I mean, they just brutalized her. And it's like, oh, gee, thanks. Sure, I'm a very sharing individual. So I managed to get her, and I put her back in the brooder box, and I gave her plenty of food and water. And she's cooing at me like she always does. She's cooing at me. I spray some stuff on her sores, and I just leave her in there. The thing is, I've got another hen that's in the other brooder box. So I got both my brooder boxes are isolation wards right now for hens. And so I have got to get busy building some kind of a pen that I can put these poor girls in, because if I'm going to be hatching eggs, and I hope to be, I got to have a brooder box available. And right now I don't. So that's on my agenda. I've found my angle grinder so I can cut the fence easy. I got that fence I got to cut, and I also got to get, because I need to build a buck pen, I need to cut some hog panels in half, so that I can fit them in the right places. And because I got to make sure that it's good and sturdy. I mean, you don't mess around with bucks. You got to make sure you have a good sturdy fence for bucks. I want to see you sit on the eggs. Ha 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 ha! Smart aleck. Hi, Monty's in motion. Oh, hi! Nice of you to join us. Yeah, that's what I need to do, is build a rooster pen. But I also need to build a quarantine pen too. I got so much building to do, and it just keeps raining. We've had, all I can say is we're going to have a bumper crop of mud. I'm not really set up to actually do any kind of construction. I guess I'm almost out of hay, so I guess I can start building in the barn. But well, I thought it was stopping raining, but no, I hear it starting up again. And I mean, I can catch the roosters at night. I've got one who will roost on the fence right there by the barn, and he's a nasty bird. Oh, he's a nasty one. And I'm not real sure where the others tend to roost. I know I've got one that he was in the coop last night because it's been nicer weather. I've been letting the birds that are in the coop out during the day, and they go in at night. And I wasn't putting the roosters in the coop, but he managed to get in there. We have one of those right now. I have built things in my hay stall. Yeah. Well, it's a little hard to build when you're full of hay. But like I said, I'm almost out of my square bales. I probably really need to get a few more because I'm still feeding hay to the goats. I was kind of hoping that my square bales would last until I started seeing greenery growing around here. Like the weeds and stuff, they tend to start growing first. But unfortunately, I had to feed some of the square bales to the horses because he couldn't get round bales up to me. So that kind of took away from my square bales. Nasty roosters go in the freezer or jars here. Oh yeah, and if I had the time, that's where they would be going. But I haven't had the time to deal with that. But I figure, I can build. I do have 2 roosters penned up. But if I put another rooster in with them, because the space is so small, they'd be fighting, especially the one. And those are the first two that are going to go, you know. I've been feeding them and watering them. I just haven't had time to deal with them. And I got the buffs as well. I need to catch them at night. Not too many of them. I have caught the odd one during the day, but they're not easy to catch. You got to get them in just the right spot. And I've got one or two that even attack me. I said, no, they're going. They are going. I had the one marked with a zip tie, and he managed to get it off his foot. So, you know, maybe I need to get something a little bit more permanent. But anyway, yeah, the roosters are going to go one way or another, you know. If I have to take practice with 22, you know, how many did you have last year and how many do you have left? Chickens or roosters? That's where those naughty roosters go. Yeah, right. If anybody wants them, they can have them. But the guy who bought the two roosters, he was smart. He didn't want any of the buffs. Those are the mean ones. He wanted the lavenders. And it's like, and he really wanted a lavender hen. But it's like, okay, really, I don't have that many lavender hens. I got more buff hens. I need to thin them down. But he did talk me into that. I've got one that's a dark bird. She's more of I think she's considered a blue. I said, I'll let her go. But I can't let my other lavenders go because I'm planning on breeding them. I got to have enough birds to breed. Roosters. Oh man, how many did I have? I had 4, 5, 6, and I have at least. I'm thinking I have 5 buffs. I'm thinking. So that's definitely way too many. So, yeah. So I want to weed it down to just the two buffs. That's all I want. 2 buff roosters. And I got the 2 lavender roosters. I've got Trump and Big and Beautiful. Those are the only 2 that have names. Trump is a lavender that has orange on his feathers. So that's why his name is Trump. I'm down to 2 roosters. Yeah, you don't want to be down to 1. Because then if anything happens to the 1, you're stuck with no rooster. So that's why I want 2 of each to begin with. You know, and I almost forgot. I have the 3 musketeers. I have there's 3 barnyard mutt chickens that I hatched. There's 2 hens and 1 rooster, and those are the ones that I'm not going to have them locked up in a pen. I'm just going to let them free range all the time. Whereas the ones that I'm going to be breeding, there may be times where they're not free ranging. If I'm breeding to get the lavenders and the buffs, then they won't be out free ranging because I need to control the genetics. 1 silky and 1 barred rock mix. Oh wow, interesting. That's an interesting combination, a silky and a barred rock mix. We have 5 or 6 roosters right now, very young. We have to decide who makes the cut. Yeah. And the lavenders weren't too difficult because they were all different. I could tell them apart. The buffs, they all look alike. So that's going to be a tough one. I think what I want to do is once I get them sequestered in a pen, I'll see which one will submit to me. Like I said, there's this one buff that will not submit. I had him in a submissive position, and he will not submit. He fights me continuously. So he's a goner. He will not be staying. But I want the roosters to respect me. And if they submit to me, then, okay, they'll stay. Okay? But beyond that, then they're going to go. One way or another, they're going to go. So, but I was very fortunate that I was able to sell some birds. So that kind of helps to offset the cost of feeding them. Once everything starts growing and the bugs come out and stuff like that, then the chickens won't get fed as much. I'll cut back somewhat. Mr. O. Okay. I don't know. Oh, okay. Anyway. Oh, somebody lay an egg. I can hear him crackling. No, the silky is pure. The barred rock is a mix. Okay, but I have no idea what breed his daddy was. He was an inherited bird. Okay, well, you know what? Sometimes those inherited birds can be nice. With my first run with breeding chickens, I had two roosters that were inherited. One, I suspected he was a Welsimer rooster or he had Welsimer in him because he was very pretty, very pretty. And he threw some really pretty birds. Um, and unfortunately, he finally, as with all things, he died of old age, but he was a really good boy, and I loved his offspring. Um, you still have Ashley? Wow, she's got to be up there. She can't possibly be laying still, is she? Ashley was one of my hens. She was a good girl. And I think she was out of that rooster. I think she could have been out of the other one that was like I don't know if it was a barred rock mix or something, but he was a very light color, but he had some barring on him. We weren't real sure what his lineage was either, because like I said, he just was there on the farm. So, but yeah, I had a few birds up there. So anyway, so yeah, as soon as we have some decent weather, hopefully this week. Now that I found my angle grinder and I can cut this fencing up, I've got some boards and everything. He was a nasty, mean bird. Sammy loved him and refused to let him. Oh, really? Seriously? We finally came to an understanding about a year before he passed away. Oh, of course. Love the Trump name. Hi, Kentucky Hilltop. Yeah, well, he's just such a unique bird. I even sent a picture of him to the woman who was instrumental in me getting this particular breed of bird. And I said, have you ever seen, because she has lavender, have you ever seen a lavender that has orange on their feathers? And she said, no, she's never seen that. So it's like, well, I had to keep him. I know he's not like your standard lavender, but I've got the other rooster that I kept is. So the one with the orange, he'll get mixed up with some other birds, okay, just to see what he throws. But yeah, I figured, what am I going to call him? With orange on his Trump, Orange Man. So, yeah. So, I had a couple people want him. I said, nope, he's staying. He gets to stay. Yes, she still goes broody. Oh, that's wonderful. I think she was out of the first. She has a funky tail feather. Oh, really? Yeah, she's got to be getting up there. But, if you take care of her, I guess, and you have been, she's been doing her job. She's, I got out of the chickens a couple of years before I moved, I think. So you're talking 4 or 5 years, and I don't remember how old she was when I got out of the chickens up there. I don't think she was young. I don't remember she was one that I thought about keeping or not. I don't remember. Too many things going on between then and now. So, chickens, they come and go. So, but anyway, so once this weather breaks, hopefully maybe if it breaks early enough tomorrow, I can get something done. It's hard to get too much work done, at least when it gets dark earlier, but it's starting to get, the days are getting longer now. So I'm hoping to start being able to do some stuff in the evenings, other than sit around and go bug-eyed in front of the computer, but hopefully I can start getting stuff done in the evenings when, it's daylight still and I still have some energy and I can actually get stuff done. So I got, between, I need a pen for the roosters. I need a quarantine pen for these two hens, because I don't think they'll ever be bred. They got tore up so bad by the roosters. The lavender, she may at some point, once I get rid of all the extra roosters, maybe I can pair her up with Big and Beautiful, and we'll see. Because that'll give me, I think I got five lavenders that are down there right now. I think 4 or 5, and then this one. So that'll make either 5 or 6. I have to double check my numbers. Everything's been so chaotic, I forget what I've got where. Still have Angel as well. Really? No longer lays since she's gone through menopause. Has she really gone through menopause? Wow. Wow, that's amazing. She's still kicking. I tell you, we get attached to these crazy birds sometimes, don't we? Oh. So, but as to the goats, well, I really do think that Little Miss is the next one up. Because I was feeling tails today, and she feels like she's starting to loosen up in her tail, whereas Daisy and Moo still feel quite tight. And I really expected Moo to be the last one to kid. I have no idea what to expect from Daisy. She's obviously pregnant. And she lets me handle her and everything. That's my dairy goat. And hopefully by the time she's ready to kid, I'll have my stanchion. That's the thing. My stanchion was built for Kiko goats. Daisy is a Seinen, and she is bigger than a Kiko. So I'm not sure she'll fit on my stanchion. Of course, the former owners, they used to just tie her up, and milk her that way. But I don't know. She's the only goat I have that has a collar. Although I have been seriously considering looking for a halter for Billy, because he's not going to get any weaker. He's going to get stronger, and I need to be able to control him. So I can touch him a little bit, but he's got a mind of his own, and he's just not listening very well. Of course, I don't go out there much other than to sit with the kids a little bit. But once I get the buck pen built, I get him moved out of there, and I get Little Man will be his companion. They're not going to be happy, and Little Man especially is not going to be happy to be separated from his mother, because he has been with his mama from day one. As long as he's not like Frodo. Oh no, Frodo was a ram. No, he's not. He hasn't really. No, he hasn't been aggressive in that way with me so far. But he's still a young buck. He's a year old for sure. He's a little bit older than a year, and I'd say he could be a little older than Little Man, but not by much. But his horns are bigger, and they have a little bit of a sweep to them, like some Kikos do. Now Billy has a smidgen of boar in him. This is what the breeder told me. He's got a smidgen of boar, probably from his mother. His father was a purebred Kiko. So most of the offsprings that he throws, they're going to be predominantly Kiko, because all the does are all Kiko. The only one that's not, like I said, is Daisy, and she's a Seinen. Hopefully, when she kids, now, here's the thing. The former owner and I both saw his buck service her. And that was one reason why I wanted to buy her, is because I know the buck that he had. But about a month after I got her here, I think it was about a month, I saw my buck service her. And it's like, okay, I thought she was already pregnant. So time will tell. She is a white goat, and Billy is white. So if she comes out with all white kids, then a good chance that her kids will be half Kiko. However, if her kids have any color to them, then it's a good chance that the former owner's buck serviced her. So time will tell. We are all on pins and needles waiting to see what the outcome is going to be. So anyway, so we are moving forward with just trying to get stuff done around here. On a rainy day, what do? You sit in the house and you watch videos and you plan. There's only so much you can do in the house, especially one as small and confined as mine. But, that's what I'm doing. I'm hearing noise out there towards the goat pen. So I'll have to take a peek. They're all confined inside the barn because it's raining. So once I get those boys moved, it won't be so bad. So I've been trying to figure out my fencing for the goat pen, and because I got to use hog panels. For the buck pen, not for the goat pen, the buck pen, specifically because it has to be good and strong, because bucks will tear into things. Okay, that's what they're known for, and I got to make sure for a buck, it's got to be strong. So it will be like for the does, I've got wooden posts in the corners, and then T-post in the middle of the hog panels, and that seems to be working. But when it comes to the buck pen, no, it's going to be wooden posts every 8 feet, okay, and there's going to be electric, and it's going to be wood, and it's going to be the hog panels, and it's going to be, this thing's going to be beefy, okay. And see, remember, if pen holds water, it'll hold goat. Yeah, well, we'll see. It may. But I have enough material in the way of metal that I can do the buck barn. It's just I don't have enough lumber. However, my neighbor, my golden neighbor, he has an old barn that he wants to, he says he's planning on burning it down. Okay. And he said, if you want to come in and take a look at it and see if there's anything salvageable that you can use, you're more than welcome to it. So I was going to take a look down there this afternoon, but the weather kind of changed my mind. So I got to get down there hopefully this week and take a look at it and see if there is anything that I can make use of for building the buck barn. So, and anyways, that's pretty much, I sold my Pathfinder. And I'll tell you, nothing warmed my heart more than having the guy who bought it put this battery back in the Nissan, put some gas in it, turn the key, and have it start right up with no problems. And he drove it on off the property. I'll tell you, that made me feel good. It's like, yeah, okay, well, I probably could have gotten more money for it, but that's okay. Because, that guy, he got himself a deal, It's like, I didn't know. I had no idea if it was going to run or not for sure, because it's been sitting there for so long, and who knows if some critter got in there. And when we finally did get the hood up, there was a mouse nest right there on top of the engine. So who knows? I had no idea. So I figured the price I asked was the wheels and the body at least were worth it. Beyond that, it was just gravy for whoever bought it. So I'm very happy. I'm happy I sold the birds. And I've been hearing good things about the chicken market. So hopefully that's going to end up being a good thing. If I can just get my construction done, the pens and the coops and everything that I need to build, we'll be laughing. So anyways, it stopped raining and I hear noise out there in the goat pen, and I really should probably go and check and make sure nobody's getting into any mischief. And who knows what they are doing. So I'm going to call it, and I hope you all stay dry and enjoy the sun that is coming later this week. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good one, people.